3, 2, 1.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen, it is Commissioner Cooper, and it's time for TSS Fantasy.
Boom.
That's what it is.
Boom.
Yeah.
Boom.
That's what it is.
Boom.
Yeah.
Fantasy Jesus.
Boom.
I'm here to save your fantasy roster.
Boom.
Fantasy Jesus. Well, it worked for The Rock and it's going to work for me.
Yeah.
Boom.
TSS Fantasy.
Boom.
Yeah. TSS Fantasy.
Boom.
And you just got flandered.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen, it is Commissioner Cooper, and it's time for TSS Fantasy.
And you just got flandered.
That's what it is.
Boom.
Yeah.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. It is Commissioner Cooper, and it's time for TSS Fantasy.
Yeah!
All right, we are fired up tonight. It's TGIF Friday. We have guests already into the building. Our boy Chris from PSR in the house. Can't wait to talk to him. Let's start our introductions. Welcome into the studio, Justin Jesus Herrera.
Yes, sir. First thing, happy Veterans Day to everybody out there, including our own Commissioner Cooper. Appreciate you guys every day. You guys keep us free. And so, here we go. TSS Fantasy. Let's start it off. You know the deal. Go click that notifications bell. Get all of those videos coming in. We got the wake up show coming up. That's the real hot show right there. That's when we get the juices loose on there. We get Fred on there. We get everybody going. You get your bets in. And then we also got, you're going to go hit that subscribe button because why not? You want to know what we're doing. You want to subscribe to us. And then when you're done with all that, go check out our website because not only do we have cool ass graphics, thanks to Jason once again, but we have our rankings up there. You know that you're going to take this long weekend. You're going to look through your rosters. You're going to say, I got some shitty quarterbacks, or, oh, I got some injured quarterbacks. What does TSS think? Who does TSS think is going to be doing good? And that's where you're going to find out on TSS.com. Check out our rankings. Check out our merch. We got it all. We're ready to go, and we're ready to give it to you because you are the people, and we are the fantasy show of the people.
Fantasy show, the people, indeed. Jordan Thomas already checking in with his tag team partner looking ferocious as Bucky says. Ooh-wee.
Let's go.
Let's get it. He's ready. Let's welcome into the studio, Nick. You got Flander Macaronis.
Hey, I'm Flanders, and I'm ready to go.
Okay, then.
Hey, Jason, I forgot to do one more plug for you.
Yes,
since
sure,
Nick's
please.
not going to do it.
Apparently.
Hey, if you guys are into betting and Mikey Betts, he's the guy who comes on our show and does all that type of stuff, go on to underdogfantasy.com right now. Click in the promo code TSS. That's right. We will get you money back match up to $100. So put $100 in, get $200 to go spend on your bets.
Nick not paying attention to the group text prior.
No, I did not. I'm sorry.
It's all right. All right, let's also welcome into our studio. He's been mentioned a couple times looking ferocious, as he's called. Welcome in, Chris, from the Patriot Sports Pod. Welcome into the studio, bro.
What's up, Jason? Thanks for having us.
We are super excited to have you in. Unfortunately, you didn't have Eric in tonight, but you do have Jordan coming in, who has been a Fantasy Feud champion, so he is here to protect you. Got your backside, got your blind side, as they say. All right, so I did also mention in the promo text, I didn't want Justin to say, talk about hitting the subscribe button. You know why? Because we have something special we've been brewing up just for you guys. We know the holiday season is coming, so here we go. We got something special ready for you to hit that subscribe button.
It's the most wonderful time of the year. the kids jingle belling and everyone telling you be of good cheer. It's the most wonderful time of the year. It's the happiest season of all.
So hit that subscribe button. The Jester Santa has lots of gifts that he's going to give away for Christmas. It's going to be a huge package. You have a signed, you guys have to remind me at all because I can't remember all of it. But we got a signed Chris Johnson jersey. You got a signed Andre Reed jersey, a signed Jameson Williams jersey, a signed Damian Harris jersey, and a signed Jerry Jeudy helmet. Can you believe all of that giveaway just by hitting the subscribe button? Don't delay. Get in on that. It's the holiday season, and you want to stuff your stockings for sure. Why do we do that, Nick?
Man, because we are the leanest, meanest, most badass fantasy football podcast that there is out there today. And we do what we want, and we don't take no crap from nobody.
And that's what you want from the fantasy show of the people.
The fantasy show of the people, indeed. Nick, I don't know how I feel about you leaning up to the camera whispering. I don't know.
As much as we like it whenever Freddie does it.
Hey, at least he doesn't have any bats in the cave.
All right, let's get off. Let's break off real quick with a little bit of news. As
I don't even know what that means, bats in the cave.
As Justin alluded to earlier, I'm going to go through these real quick because we're going to go over these Sunday morning, obviously with Brian, and get a further update on them. But some questionables. Josh Allen, I know that's a big question, even before I know our picks are already in. But, that's a big question mark in this matchup. Again, it was our big game show. If the big game quarterback doesn't show up, going to be big trouble for the Bills this weekend. Brandon Cooks with his wrist looks questionable as well. Zeke Elliott still questionable. Looks like he's trending to play. But again, maybe a little something in the head. Yeah, questionable indeed. Romeo Dobbs, he's somebody that looks doubtful to go this week, so just something to check out in that lineup. Keenan Allen and Mike Williams both out again, making Joshua Palmer, of course, a big start this week. So again, might want to look out. He had a great week last week when they were both out. Looks like to trend that way this week again. In a weird, odd way, both these teams, Matt Stafford and Kyler Murray, needing these quarterbacks so much this week, both are questionable right now. So Kyler Murray dealing with a hamstring issue, and Matt Stafford with he's in the concussion protocol, which again, the concussion came out of nowhere. So I'm not really sure. Again, watch those lineups. All these fantasy players will be affected if those quarterbacks aren't going in. Deion Jackson is out this week, but it looks like you have a healthy, somewhat Jonathan Taylor. So Jonathan Taylor owners can feel a little bit confident starting him this week without Deion Jackson in. So nobody really looked like to eat into his carries too much. I know this happened earlier this week, but Darren Waller placed on the IR and Hunter Renfrow also. So you're looking at Mac Hollins here for the nearer future as that number 2 guy in Las Vegas. So again, might be a decent pickup for you. Again, we're going to go over some more of these on Sunday, but just some of those early ones just want to throw out there so that way you guys are ready because they are going to affect some of these matchups. Well, we're going to wait till our other 2 competitors are in. I see Trey's in the building. I don't want to bring him in early too just yet, but let's get started. We'll talk while we're waiting for the rest of the crew to get in, and we'll start with our weekly breakdown. We have a since we have a guest in the building, we're going to start with Chris. We have a game on Monday morning. Hallelujah. Sunday morning. That's the way, listen, you're going to wake up with TSS at 8 o'clock. You go right into a football game. How do you love it? And also, I think PSR's got a show on Sunday morning also, don't you?
Yep. Yeah.
Awesome. So, listen, you can tag team both of our shows, get onto the football game. Seahawks at Bucks. It's in Germany. The Seahawks against fantasy QBs are 22nd, against running backs 24th, against receivers 4th, and against tight ends, they are 31st. The Bucks defensively are 15th versus fantasy QBs, 4th against the running back, 16th against receiver, 25th against the tight end. Chris, give me some guys you like and don't like in this matchup.
Well, Brady hasn't thrown more than one touchdown in a game for like a month, but he's throwing it enough times to compile fantasy points. Even still, I'm not excited to start Brady, even if he's getting some German blood work done before the game. This Seahawks pass defense is very tough since about week 4. So I'm going to X Brady off. So I know there was a bunch of people just waiting for me to say it. Evans and Godwin, you're starting, obviously. I feel better about Godwin considering the Seattle defense allows most of their wide receiver fantasy points to hit the slot. His low average depth on target may not be the worst thing if the Seahawks pass rush is effective. Godwin is a quick and reliable option. I'm avoiding Fournette if I can. The Rachaad White talk has me concerned, but not as concerned as I am about 2.8 yards per carry. As far as Cade Otton, you'll have to see what Cameron Brate's status is. If he's active, you really can't start either one with confidence. DK and Lockett are auto starts for me. So is Walker. You never know which tight end between Disley and Fant and Colby Parkinson, which one will get the ball. So it's really these three. And Geno, Geno, if you have to, I'm not really going to consider Geno.
Yeah, I mean,
Really?
I like Brady in this matchup. I mean, well, I think he's talking about that. I mean, the Bucks D is pretty stout, and quite frankly, I think we're all waiting for that peripheral other foot to drop on Geno Smith. I'm kind of feeling the same way, kind of feel that coming, but again, he does show up every week. But I like the Brady. You said I like him this week because you're bringing up you like Mike Evans, you like Chris Godwin. I like Brady this week as well to kind of bounce back. Like I said last week, on Friday, or whatever hell day I said it. Today's Friday, Wednesday, last week, whatever. Sometimes you have that squeaky, little track that you can't get moving. You put the WD-40 on and it's squeaking and moving. I think that win last week, that last drive for this Bucks offense was that for this offense. And I think the Bucks are going to look good actually in Germany. Big game for Tommy, of course. All right, let's go on to New Orleans at Pittsburgh. We'll go on to Nick for this one. The New Orleans defense is 17th versus fantasy QBs. They're 13th against the running back, 18th against receiver, and 3rd versus tight end. Pittsburgh, 29th against quarterback, 18th against the running back, 31st against receiver, and 8th versus tight end. What say you, my friend, guys you like and don't like?
All right, so I picked out a couple players here. Andy Dalton, right now, he's 26th with 15 points per game. If you're playing in a if you're playing in a 2-quarterback league, you may want to consider him as a streamer. He's only had one top 10. It was week 7 against Arizona. It was ranked number 2 that week with 29.5 points. So, and he's never been above 18. So again, if you're in a pinch, 2-team quarterback only. I can't start him in a 1-quarterback league. That's just fantasy suicide right there. Then you got Alvin Kamara. He's number 12 with 18 points per game. Ironically, he's only had one top 10 against the Raiders, where he came in second with 33.8 points. And he's been there 12 every game previously. So again, that's another one. Flex play. One week he's really great, and then the next he's like Casper. Olave is going to be your only in this game. Is going to be your only bona fide starter with confidence. Right now he's number 15, 14.6 points per game. He's had one top 10 against Carolina, where he scored 14.7 points. Now, the one interesting fact about the Saints is on defense, right? They're 23rd overall. They had this monster game against the Raiders, but they only average 5.1 points per game. So you're not starting them either. As far as Pittsburgh, man, I'd stay away from this. Harris, no. He's averaging 10 points per game. Deontay Johnson, no. PPR, maybe. Low flex at best. However, their defense should improve this week and going forward because TJ Watt's back. So how one guy is supposed to fix this entire defense, it's like David Copperfield and Chris Angel do some magic. But stay away.
All right, yeah. Again, for those that don't know, Nick used to always sport Pittsburgh stuff, and all of a sudden this year it's just straight Philly. Just want to keep.
I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why. Because I had an agreement with myself. I was always a Roethlisberger guy, and I knew once Ben left, my heart would leave with it too. So that's part of the reason as to why. For tight end, Freiermuth, start him.
All righty. Let's go. I'm sorry, my bad. I was a little distracted. Jordan's having some trouble getting in. So we're going to go to one more game, and I'm going to try to help get Jordan in. So let's go to Justin on this one. Jags at Chiefs. Jags are 21st against the quarterback, 23rd against the running back, 22nd against receiver, 5th versus tight end. Chiefs, 25th against quarterback, 25th against running back, 26th against receiver, and 26th against tight end. Give me guys you like and don't like in this one, Justin.
All right, so I am going to disregard that 5th against tight ends because when you're playing Travis Kelce, he just blows up your entire rankings anyways. So I'm just going to say Travis Kelce, Patrick Mahomes, put them away, say never take them out of your lineups. Easy, right? So then we have Trevor or Lawrence. So little fact about Kansas City, they have only their worst finish for quarterbacks was QB 16. Every other finish was in the top 12. So, whether it's a shootout, whether it's a close game, they're keeping these quarterbacks relevant. Their defense has obviously not been that great. Their secondary took kind of a hit last year, losing the Honey Badger and losing Ward. Overall, they're gritty, but they're going to give up points. So I'm going to start Trevor Lawrence this week, especially with the list that you rattled off. You got Stafford, you got Murray, you've got Allen possibly not playing. Trevor Lawrence is a guy that you would look at and be like, okay, this is possibly a really solid Band-Aid for those guys. Etienne. So I struggle with this one because, this is going to be all game script, right? If Etienne is he has a good rushing day, this is going to be a tight game. But if it's kind of already a blowout by like halftime, they might need to go to the receiving end. So here's something. The Chiefs have allowed the 4th most receiving yards to opposing running backs. I think Etienne, either way, could have a really good day. It just all depends how he does it. He has averaged 16 routes a game since James Robinson has left, and he's also had 3 straight RB1 finishes since that trade. So he's really trending up. I don't think it's going to go away in this one. Whether it's rushing, whether it's receiving, he's probably going to end up getting the ball a lot and getting some yards. Christian Kirk. So he's got L'Jarius Sneed, who has been off and on an okay slot guy. But, Kirk he's a wide receiver 1 who plays slot all the time, right? He's like CeeDee Lamb, but a little bit shorter. He's got 5 games with 17-plus points. He had over 20 points last week. I think at this point, the Chiefs are allowing 23.6 points to fantasy receivers on an average. This looks to me like a smash start for Christian Kirk. They're gonna get him the ball, and you just got to go with the guys that are gonna get in this one. And that leads me to Ingram. Ingram this is a guy who's been getting consistently targeted for the past 3 weeks, and the Chiefs surprisingly are allowing 9.5 points to opposing tight ends. This is crazy, but I'm going to say start every Jaguar I just said. Like, don't sit anybody on that rotation. Don't get cute with it. Don't start like Zay Jones or something like that. But every one of their bona fide starters, go for it. On the Chiefs side, I can't say the same. You know who the leading rusher on the Chiefs were last year? Patrick Mahomes, 63 yards. The other 2 running backs had 14 yards combined. That's crazy.
Well,
only
to
one
be
that
fair,
did-
he threw it 68 times.
I'm saying rushing yards.
I know.
I'm saying rushing yards, Nick. These guys just did not get anything done. I think they had more rushes than they had yards. The only one that did something was Jerick McKinnon. He had 63 yards in the receiving game. Yikes. Do you want to really pick who do you want, CD or CEH, McKinnon, or whoever the hell else wants to show up in that one? Juju Smith-Schuster, 3 wide receiver 1 weeks in a row. Going to stick with him. And actually, I'm going to throw this out there. Kadarius Toney. So Hardman is out. Kadarius Toney could be a very solid play. If you're up or if you're looking for some huge upside, he might be the guy to get you it. I mean, let's face it. Cole Hardman's had a 4-touchdown game. That could easily be Kadarius Toney this week. So, yeah, I'm going to put in Kadarius Toney as a good low-end flex this week.
Start all your Chiefs, basically, after all that.
No. I said no running back.
I know. I'm just messing with you. But it's the Jaguars, right? So, you expect a good day for the Chiefs offensively. We'll see what the Jags can do. I think Trevor Lawrence could put up a decent day again against the Chiefs. He's going to have to, quite frankly, just to keep the game script going. So, all right. Well, look, we got some guys in tonight that are ready to play some feud. Let's bring them in. We got our boys from 4th and Flex, Trey and Bandy, going against Chris and his tag team partner, the fantasy champ, Jordan. Let's bring him in.
Whatever happened to predictability? The milkman, the paperboy, evening TV.
It's time.
All right, let's get it on. It's fantasy feud time. I got Chris. I'm not doing that on purpose for our product.
You're good.
Every time we go on a video, Chris is up hitting the joint or two. All right, let's welcome in our guests. We got a fun fantasy feud coming on tonight. First, let's welcome in some challengers. 4th and Flex, Bandy from 4th and Flex. Since you're primarily here on our Friday night show, welcome into our studio live, my friend.
Thanks for having us, guys. Ready to get some butts kicked over here.
We appreciate you being in. Let's welcome your tag team partner, Trey from 4th and Flex. Welcome in, my brother.
Uh-oh. What's going on, everybody?
He's just happy
We're ready.
to be
We're here. We're ready to go.
All right, sounds good.
What's up, Trey?
We appreciate you. He looks like Freddie that one night when he ate too many edibles. All right, let's welcome in to the studio,
Wasn't
Jordan,
the only one.
Drew Durham, Fantasy Football. Welcome into the studio.
What's up, baby? Glad to be back and glad to hold it down with my boy Chris from Patriot Sports Radio. We're coming for that title tonight. There's going to be one person from Northwest Arkansas walking out of here a champ tonight.
Yeah, listen, this is the first time we've had a tag team, so this will introduce the tag team title tonight. That's what at least as commish, I can throw that in there. So that might be what's going on with Trey. He's got some connectivity issues. Bandy might be in trouble tonight. Oh, he might be a 2-on-1. Who knows? All right, let's get it started though tonight. It's Fantasy Feud night. Let's get it on.
Brad?
Justin Jefferson.
Justin Jefferson. It's going to be a long game.
Hey, I'll tell you what. When Trey is out, I'll be on Bandy's team.
Okay, that helps no one. All right, Trey is back, thankfully.
Okay, fine.
Trey.
Screw him.
Trey is back, thankfully, for Bandy, because you would have been in trouble. No, I'm just having fun with you.
I appreciate it,
volunteering.
Flanders.
Thank you for volunteering, Nick. That's good.
You almost had the MVP, man.
I know. What a good guy. All right, let's get it on. It's Fantasy Feud night. So basically, if you guys don't know the rules, how it works, I'm just going to shout. I'm going to ask the question. You guys will shout out the answer. The first person to get an answer correct, you guys will steal it for your team. So then your team can go back and forth. I'll ask, whoever answered the question, I'll ask the other person, and we'll go back and forth. And you get 3 strikes to get all the answers correct. If you obviously answer them all correct, you close out the round. If you do not, obviously you get the other team a chance to steal. So pretty much same as any Family Feud game. So, all right, well, that's enough BSing around. Let's get it on round 1. First question. Here we go. We're talking about last week now, so let's get in last week mode. We're talking quarterbacks. That's the first round, right? So I want to know, who were the QBs from last week that threw 2 or more TDs in the red zone?
Patrick Mahomes.
Patrick Mahomes. Not on the list.
Dak Prescott.
Dak Prescott. It'll be a long night tonight.
These red.
Jared Goff.
Jared, I heard a Jared Goff and a Joe Burrow, but Trey, was that you, Trey, with Joe Burrow?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna give you guys that since it was really your turn to go. And then Jared Goff. Jared Goff is on this list. There's a bunch of them tied at 2. He is actually on the bottom on this list. So Jared Goff is on the list at number 7. You guys have control, Jordan and Chris. So Jordan, if you'd like to go next, what's your guess?
Geno Smith.
Geno Smith. We got to get back. He's on this list listed at number 6 with 2 as well.
Is that me then?
Yes, you're up.
I'd like Josh Fields.
You mean Justin Fields?
Justin Fields. God,
I think you should give him an extra.
He was just joshing around. Yeah, Justin Fields. He's number 1 on the list with 3. 3 in
this
the
game. This game's just too slow for me. Sorry.
Jordan, who you got?
Kirk Cousins.
Kirk Cousins.
Love that when you said that.
Oh, you're going to like that one. He's at number 4. All right, who you got, Chris?
I got to go with David Mills.
Dave?
Come on, help me out here.
Is that your phone at the David
Was there a phone?
Mills on the list, number 5 with 2. I mean, come on, bro. All the QBs in the league. You went with Davis fucking Mills. That's why I asked the question, because I was like, oh, they won't know Davis Mills.
Well, I was trying to think of everybody's. I'm trying to think of last week's scores.
This guy looking down too, making it so fucking obvious. All right, what do you say, Jordan?
Tua Tagovailoa.
Tua.
One more.
All right, there's one more left. Tua was number 2 as well. Justin Fields and Tua both had 3 last week. So the rest of these guys, like Kirk Cousins, Davis Mills, Geno Smith, Jared Goff, all had 2, and there was one more with 2 as well.
Bandy's looking scared. We got to nail it here.
I think it was Garoppolo. No. Sorry.
Yeah, he said it.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, just go with it.
And he was on a bye.
All right, one left.
He may have been on a bye, but he threw more than Aaron Rodgers.
Thanks, brother.
Right.
Trevor Lawrence.
Trevor Lawrence. All right. What say you, Bandy and Trey? So I know, Trey, you were out, but here's what's been listed. Justin Fields and Tua are number 1 and 2 with 3 TDs thrown in the red zone. The rest, Kirk Cousins, Davis Mills, Geno Smith, Jared Goff, all tied with 2 with one other quarterback.
What do you think, Trey?
I know who it
Derek
is,
Carr?
man.
Go for it.
It's Derek Carr.
Yeah, that's what I said.
He says, Derek Carr. He knows the answer to the question.
Stafford.
Trey.
Jalen Hurts.
Oh, he's
That's
pretty
your
good,
dude, too.
Damn.
Hey, we had the same
All right.
mindset, though.
Hey, at least we got
We
the
did.
point out of getting 6.
We did. He had 2 touchdowns.
6 of
right?
them.
That's what you were thinking.
Chris,
Got my hands up here.
Chris and Jordan round 1. Let's get into round 2. Again, we're all into last week. Now we're going into the running backs. All right, we're back in that red zone because we want to go where the money is, right? I want to know. There's top 6 answers on the board. Give me the running backs that had the most rushing yards in the red zone last week.
Mixon.
Derek Henry.
Joe Money Mixon.
Too easy.
Joe Mixon is correct. He was number 3 on the list, believe it or not, with 34 rushing yards in the red zone. All right,
Well,
Chris and Jordan, you got it.
Derrick Henry.
Derrick Henry, the king. You try to steal Trey's answer. And that's what you get.
It happens.
ETN.
Travis Etienne. Correct. He is number 2 on the list with 38 rushing yards last week. Jordan, what you got?
Saquon Barkley.
Saquon, no.
Weren't they on a bye?
Yeah,
you
they
got
were.
Travis Etienne on number 2. You got Joe Mixon at number 3. You still got number 1, 4, 5, and 6 left.
I'd like to buy a vowel. Why can't I think of any running backs right now?
I know, it's hard when you're
Yes,
on the
it's like
spot.
all gone out of my head. Who was this? All right, I got to look at my. Okay.
Yeah,
Williams.
look at your what?
Well, I need to look at. I was trying to look at my fantasy lineup, like who all scored points. I'm gonna go with Jamal Williams, probably. Jamal Williams.
Jamal Williams.
I have never heard someone say so many wrong things, one after the other, consecutively in a row.
So, Bandy, I might be alone on that. We're waiting for Trey to come back here. So, while we're in, Nick said he'd step in, but let's see. Do you have at least somewhat of an idea, something you're confident in without a partner?
Say the question again, real quick.
Sure. It was last week. I'm looking for the running backs who had the most rushing yards in the red zone last week.
Kenneth Walker.
There's only 787 of them.
Kenneth Walker.
Oh,
Fourth and flex takes round 2. Kenny Walker. He is number 1 on this list with 43 rushing yards in the red zone. Also on this list, Miles Sanders at number 4 with 26. Austin Eckler. He and Caleb Huntley are tied with 13 at the bottom of the list. Lewis, good guess, my friend. Unfortunately, no cigar. Appreciate you chiming in. And look, our boy DJ had it, but I didn't want to reveal it. DJ the Brain wants to take on Jordan, by the way, who kind of ran from him last week.
Oh, no, it's on next week. Let's go.
It's on, baby.
Oh, that's a match I want to see.
Yeah, we gotta see that one. All right, let's go to round 3. Hopefully we can get Trey back. If not, Nick can fill in. At least you can help him chime in with this on the first one if you want, Nick. Here we go. We're gonna go receivers now. Talking now again the red zone. We're talking money round. Top receivers from last week's top 6 answers on the board. Give me the top receivers who had the most targets in the red zone last week.
Devontae Adams.
In unison, Devontae Adams. Should have put up 2 strikes.
AJ
Brown. See, that was Jordan's ex because he kind of got out a little bit quicker than I did.
Oh, okay. I thought it was you and Bandy both said it. I had my head down. So,
No,
okay.
it was me and Nick, so it should be up to Chris and Bandy on this next one.
AJ Brown.
Okay, AJ Brown. Chris? Those wandering eyes.
Yeah.
Most red zone targets.
Yes, sir.
Oh, you guys are gonna punch me if I say.
Just
I'll say
something right.
Tyreek Hill. That's probably wrong. God damn it.
Tyreek Hill. This one we might be in for
I got
long
one,
wait.
Bandy.
I think I got one too. What are you thinking over there, Nick?
I'm
your
thinking he
partner
plays
wanted
for a
time
team
in.
that wears purple.
Okay. I was thinking, what do you think? Is my tag team partner right, Commish, or what?
I'm just letting you know what your tag team partner said. I'm impartial here, sir.
All right. Well, I'll go with my boy over there. Let's go with Cooper Cup. I don't think it's right.
He goes with his one boy and not the other.
That's not the guy I was
what
thinking.
No, I know.
What say you guys?
Do we keep going?
Yeah.
Oh, sweet.
Christian Kirk.
Christian. It's gonna be a really long.
Justin Jefferson.
Justin Jefferson.
My partner coming in clutch.
First time, yeah, Justin Jefferson. Him and two others are tied with 3. He's on the list at number 5. All right, who else you guys got?
I'm thinking Waddle, right?
Jalen Waddle.
Thanks,
One more
Nick.
guess, guys.
Hey, I got you off the schneid.
Your partner's chiming in. Hold on.
Okay, what does he got? Oof. Really? They weren't really in the red zone much, were they? Let's go with I don't know. Let's go with Diggs.
Stephon Diggs.
Oh, hell no!
All right, Chris and Jordan, you have a chance to steal here. A lot of meat left on this bone.
Yeah.
Only thing they got is number 5, Justin Jefferson. He's tied with 2 others. So at 4, 5, and 6, you still got 1, 2, and 3 left on the board. Who you got?
Do we just got to get one, or do we got to get all of these?
You just got to get one to steal
all
the
right,
round.
all right, Chris. I know for a fact Drake London caught one and missed one, so he has at least 2. I don't know if that gets on the list, but that would be my answer. What do you think?
I'm going with the truth then.
Going with the truth, Drake London.
All he does is win.
Eric chiming in. He said his nephew at Jefferson 3 guesses ago. Get it together, boys.
I was just going to say, let's shout out Cy and Eric. They're sitting on the couch watching us. They're having a guy's pizza night.
Appreciate you guys tuning in tonight. His nephew had. He's like, get it. Listen, Eric. When the lights come on, man, people get nervous. This is what happens. Can't think of nothing, right?
Exactly.
All right. So Drake London, actually, he was number 1 total last week with 5 red zone targets. Believe it or not, Mercole Hardman was number 2 with 4. Alan Lazard also had 4. DK Metcalf and Sammy Watkins tied with Justin Jefferson with 3 last week.
How did we not win the football game?
That was super easy.
If you don't know, now you know. All right, so Jordan and Chris, you guys are leading 2-1. Bandy, Trey, and Spirit, and Nick, you guys are down. You guys got to get this round so we can push it to round 5. Here we go, round number 4. We are going to fantasy points and tight ends. So I want to know from last week, give me the tight ends. My bad, top 5 answers on the board. Give me the top tight ends who had the most fantasy points in the red zone last week.
Goddard.
Kate Otten.
And a partridge in a pear tree. All right, so I heard Travis Kelce. That was like the first thing that I heard out that actually came out So here we go with that. I also heard a Cade Otten.
Fine.
Now, the others I didn't hear.
I had Cole Kmet.
Cole Kmet. Cole Kmet is numero uno on this list.
Good
with
answer.
14.2
Good answer.
fantasy points in the red zone last
How
week.
about that, Cy? You like that, baby?
All right, you guys got control. What else you got?
Dallas Goddard.
Dallas Goddard.
He heard it and stole it.
Come in at number 2 this week. 8 points in the red zone. So you got number 1 and number 2, 3, 4, and 5 are left.
Give me some Zach Ertz, baby.
Zach Ertz.
We're on one, baby.
You know it hurts the hurts. I love it. Sick. He was number 4 with 6.6 points. So you're missing number 3 and 5. And good luck if you can tell me these.
Well, when you say it that way,
I got it.
Isaiah Likely.
Isaiah, not very likely.
Was Hawkinson.
That was mine.
No Hawkinson here. All right, you got 3 and 5 left with 1 strike remaining.
Chris, I don't know this dude's name. That the random tight end from Green Bay. He saw a decent amount of volume this last week. Weird ass name, DeGrom to something. I don't know. Do you know who I'm talking about or no?
Yeah. Now you got DeGrom in my head.
I will guess Hayden Hurst.
Hayden Hurst is the guess, and Hayden Hurst is not correct.
Stop it. Get some help.
All right, Bandy and Nick, you have a chance to steal this here. You got number 3 and number 5 on this list. We got a lot of guesses coming in.
That's right.
That's right. That was, I think, the guy you were trying to think of,
Zelstra.
Jordan. Look at all these. Look at Lewis. I mean,
We've
Lewis
said all those.
Yeah, no, he's all over those. All right,
Yeah,
so here it is. Can you guys?
What do you think, Nick? Noah Fant?
It's your call, my friend.
I'm going Noah Fant.
Noah Fant to tie it.
More like
Jordan and Chris are today's victor. Congratulations. On this list, number 3, Tommy Tremble, 6.8 points. And number 5, James Mitchell, 6.3 points, all last week in the red zone.
Who's James Mitchell?
If you were looking to stream a tight end, those were, I have no idea, Nick. I think that's the point. That's exactly the point.
I know, Pete Mitchell.
Congratulations to Chris and Jordan. You are today's winner. And my friends, Bandy and Trey, unfortunately tonight.
Go Wilder.
Give it to me.
Dumbass. Thank these. They call me dumbass. Black Entertainment. Stupid.
So you get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir.
He said he's coming back with a he didn't like that. Trey didn't like that. He said he's coming back with a vengeance next time. But right now, the tag team titles now belong to Chris and Jordan. Can you believe it? All right, guys.
Tag team champions of the world.
Indeed. Congratulations on your victory tonight. All right, let's close it out. Let's get Bandy and Jordan on out of here because I know Bandy's got a little partying to get to and Jordan's just got Netflix and chill. So, Jordan, let everyone know where they can follow, subscribe, and get all your great stuff, which, by the way, is on TSSFantasy.com, so you can check out all his great stuff on there. But go ahead, Jordan. Where can we find all your great stuff?
Yeah, the commish stealing my thunder, but find me on YouTube, True Serum Football, all over Facebook and the socials, True Serum FF, and you can find all my articles and blogs on both PatriotSportsNow.com as well as TSSFantasy.com.
You know, woo, you know it. All right, let's also close out Bandy tonight, my brother from another mother, flexing all the way from 4th and Flex. Everyone know where they can follow, subscribe, and get your stuff, my friend.
That's right. Just go to YouTube, 4th and Flex Fantasy Football Podcast. We're here to help you out. We're giving away stuff all the time. Go over there and check us out, guys.
You know how we're going to close it out, to close you guys out? We're going to give you Bandy's Flex Starts of the Week. That's how we do it. The best way to close them out. Guys, we appreciate you. Great game of Fantasy Feud. We got to do this again. Appreciate you, and we'll talk to you soon.
See you next week.
Later, guys. Thank you for that fantastic introduction, Commish. Welcome back to Bandy's Flex Starts of the Week. Let's get into it. Starting off, I've got Jeff Wilson Jr., baby. Jeff Wilson Jr. helped me win the championship back in the day, and he's going to help you win your matchup this week. Flex Jeff Wilson Jr. going to help you out. Moving on to my next guy, I've got Donovan Peoples-Jones. Donovan Peoples-Jones, that deep ball threat over there in Cleveland. Listen, Jacoby Brissett is looking for a guy. He's got Amari over there, and he's got Donovan Peoples-Jones catching them balls for him. He has been consistent. 11 points or more in the last 5 games. Go ahead, start up Donovan Peoples-Jones. Let's go to the next one. I've got Michael Gallup, baby. Michael Gallup from Dallas. Look, he's coming back off that ACL tear, and him and Dak are trying to get that thing going, and they are going to get it going this week. He is going to be a perfect flex for you over there in Dallas. Put him in your lineups. That's right. Bandy's Flex Starts of the Week. Look, if you got a better idea for a flex, then do it. Guys, don't forget to check out me and Trey over on the 4th and Flex Fantasy Football Podcast so we can help you with that entire lineup, baby. See you there.
Yeah, all right. I am Hans. And I am Franz, and we just want to pop you up.
Flex it in, baby. That's how you do it. Got to get them in your lineups this week. Let's get back to our breakdown. I know Chris got to be feeling good after his victorious tag team championship. So let's talk about Cleveland going to America's team, the Miami Dolphins. Cleveland defensively, they're 10th versus fantasy QBs, 29th versus running backs, 14th versus receivers, and 7th versus the tight end. Miami, 32nd, dead last against fantasy QBs, 14th versus the running backs, 23rd versus receiver, 30th versus tight end. Give me some guys you like and don't like.
Well, I'll tell you, this game is a lot like Commissioner Cooper's ever since I met him. One of the best things I loved about him from the start. This one's pretty fucking straightforward. It's black and white. You know what you got. We know where the ball's going. Aside from Miami backfield, Mostert is reaching his career high of 137 attempts, and who knows what happens after that. The guy has never been accused of having durability. Does this mean it's split 50-50 with Jeff Wilson? Does Wilson get the majority plus the passing work? I prefer to wait and see. Tua, Hill, and Waddle, obviously, we're all rolling them out. They're always going to be starts at week in, week out. There's no reason to talk about that. Tight end is gross. As far as the Browns, it's obviously Nick Chubb. Might be a multiple touchdown game for him. Hunt can be started in this one. That's what I think. Miami has a terrible red zone defense, allowing touchdowns 70% of the time opponents cross their 20-yard line. Work on that, Commish. Amari Cooper should be a great start this week, and then you need to trade him off this performance. So he rolls out this week. He's gone next week. Get him the hell off your roster. It's well documented. Cooper hates the cold weather. and he's in the AFC North now. So if you've pull up your weather app above the Mason-Dixon, it's time to go.
He might not like cold weather, but he will have Deshaun Watson. So I think that might make a bit of a difference. I don't know if I would necessarily cut bait with him. And I think he will have a good game though. Again, Miami defensively hasn't been all that great, but what the Browns do well is what Miami does do well defensively. They can't stack up and beat that run. Again, I said it third Wednesday, whatever show we had last, I think Miami wins comfortably in this matchup. All right, let's go to our next guy, Nick. Let's go to the next matchup, Denver at Tennessee. Denver is number 1 against fantasy QBs, 17th versus running backs, number 1 versus receiver, and 18th versus tight end. Tennessee, 26th against quarterbacks, 5th versus running backs, 30th versus receiver, 23rd versus tight end. Give me some guys you like and do not like in that matchup.
Well, I'm going to equate this to like watching paint dry on your fence during a rainstorm. This is awful. On Denver's side, again, Russell Wilson. He's number 21, 15 points per game this week. Start him only in a 2-quarterback league, maybe. As far as everybody else on the team, no, I don't trust Sutton. I don't trust Judy. They're averaging 12 and 13 points PPR respectively. That's not enough to put them in my lineup. Maybe a low-end flex. As far as their defense is now 8th overall. For a while, it was a first overall, second overall. Now it's slid all the way down to 8th. And with Bradley Chubb gone, it's just going to get worse. So, but the key matchup here is against the run defense, because the only player that you're going to play on Tennessee is Travis Henry. Obviously, he's number 3 overall, 21 points per game. He's only had 3 non-top 10 games this season. Now, the reason why I say it's interesting against Denver's defense is because they're number 11 against the running backs, and they give up they are 19 to running backs, and they give up 22.9 points per game. Start Travis Henry all day. Sit back, put your feet up, eat some popcorn, and enjoy the show.
Travis Henry?
Damn, I did again. Derrick Henry. I keep calling him Travis. Why?
Every year. It was like that old running back.
I know.
Justin, we got
Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry.
We had to look it up. We had a live question from Trey, who now is logging off because he's like, these guys don't know who the fuck Derrick Henry is. All right, they let in a full PPR. Judy or Josh Palmer this week? Thanks.
Palmer.
Good luck.
Full disclosure, Travis Henry was a decent running back, but he was no Derrick Henry.
He was.
No.
He was Derrick Henry, but he was
Josh Fields was an excellent Josh Fields was an excellent quarterback.
Oh, he was an all-pro, perennial all-pro.
Perennial, yeah.
It must be Friday.
Dynasty number one. Yeah, Palmer. You got to go Palmer just because, the fact that Palmer is going to be getting all the targets. 49ers are, as far as secondary goes, there's a lot to be desired there. This is going to be a game where Justin Herbert's just going to pepper him with targets, and that's what you want in full PPR, 100%.
Yeah. Definitely. That's what you want in any fantasy, even standard too. I'd play Josh Palmer all day. All right, so Justin, we'll keep it with you. Lions at the Bears. Oh my. Lions defensively 30th versus quarterback, 27th versus the running back, 29th versus receiver, 29th versus tight end. Bears 16th versus quarterbacks, 28th versus the running back, 11th versus receiver, and 6th versus the tight end. Guys you like and don't like.
Justin Fields, easy. The Lions have given up the 4th most rushing yards to opposing quarterbacks, and they're allowing 21 points per game to fantasy quarterbacks. Lock them in. Easy money there. I don't want anything to do with Herbert or Monty because I don't want to figure out which one. Is that I mean, listen, Monty has 70% of the touches, but Herbert outproduces him. Like, that doesn't make any freaking sense at all. It's like the Pollard Ezekiel Elliott thing. Do you really want to be caught with either one of them when the other's, siphoning it off from them? So even though it's a good matchup, I'm here looking at it like Herbert should be getting more touches, and Monty's not doing much with the touches he's getting. On the flip side, I love the Williams-Swift dynamic. Williams will still get a lot of goal line touches, but this is going to be the first week since, like week 4 that DeAndre Swift does not carry an injury designation. So he's full go. He's practiced fully. He's ready to go. And this Bears defense is terrible, just like their counterpart against the rush. I think this is going to be a beautiful game to have either Williams or Swift. I'm on Ross St. Brown. 33% of the target share and hasn't done dick with it. Last time he had a good performance was week 2. Come on, everybody. This is a big game for him. I mean, he's still flex, but this is one of those games where you're like, if you can't start getting stuff going, man, you're getting all of the targets. Hawk's gone. Josh Reynolds is out. Who else do they have? Are they going to give it to Khalif Raymond? Probably, because Amon-Ra St. Brown can't deliver. So last week for me, flex him up. And outside of that, if he can't do anything against the Bears, I'm going to sit him on the bench and try and teach him a lesson.
Amon-Ra might be seeing the judge next week. Who knows?
He might. There you go.
Is that your expert analysis? Can't do dick with it.
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing that.
Yeah.
We're already 56 minutes in, but thanks for that.
Mooney, I like Mooney in this one. Back-to-back weeks of double digits. He's seeing his target share go up. Claypool is another guy that I kind of want to wait and see what he does. And then Kmet, final one, start Kmet up. 3 touchdowns, past 2 games. All you need is 10 points to be relevant at the tight end position. That's a touchdown, a catch, and 20 yards. Good to go.
I'll take it all day. I'll take it.
I'm all fired up.
Appreciate you, Mr. Mallard, for chiming in from Divots and Pivots. Go make sure you guys subscribe, follow them. Great fantasy golf stuff there. All right, let's go on to our next matchup, Chris. We're going to do the Minnesota game. Minnesota at the Buffalo Bills. Hopefully no Josh Allen. I hate to say that because I don't like to hope for injuries. Man, I hope he don't play this game. Minnesota, they're 24th versus quarterback, 6th versus running back. They're 27th versus receiver, and 22nd versus tight end. The Bills, they're 3rd versus quarterbacks, 9th versus running backs, 12th versus receiver, and 10th versus tight end. So give me some guys you like and don't like, if you can.
Well, Minnesota and Buffalo. Again, with the bad red zone defense, here we are again. Minnesota rolls into Buffalo to face their 4th backup QB this season. Their red zone defense is actually the worst in the league, allowing touchdowns 78% of opponent trips inside the 20. That combined with the fact that it's likely Case Keenum in this game makes me think Dawson Knox is actually startable. Diggs, you start no matter what. So even if the CDC says no, kids, you still start Diggs. Gabe Davis needs Josh Allen bombs to be relevant. Keep him on the bench. If it comes out that the elbow thing is multiple weeks, you can drop Davis. The backfield is anybody's guess. Start your studs and maybe Dawson Knox. That's what I got.
I like you, Nick. Let's go to this matchup. Texans at the Giants. The Texans are 5th versus quarterbacks, dead last against running backs. 3rd versus receiver, 17th versus tight end. Giants 14th versus the quarterback, 8th versus running back, 5th versus receiver, 6th versus tight end. What say you guys you like and don't like?
Well, on Texans, the only guy I like is Pierce. He's number 14 on the year, 15 points per game. He's had 3 top 10s against the Bears, the Chargers, and the Eagles. That's the only guy I like. If you have to play Brandon Cooks, and that's if he has to play himself. He's number 49 on the year, so high hopes for that. With 10 points per game, that's in PPR, folks. Okay. His game high was week 4 against the Chargers. He had 11.7 points per game. Yeah, have fun with that one. So, and then the other guys on the Giants, I have Daniel Jones, streamer, and 2 quarterback prospect right there. Number 17, 16 points per game. And he had 2 top 10 against the Bears and the Jaguars. Barkley, you're starting. It doesn't matter. But the Giants defense, I bring that up because they're 5th against running backs, and they're averaging 19.4 points per game. So that'll be a nice day for Dameon Pierce. But again, he's the only guy on Houston that you're starting.
All righty. All right, let's get on to Justin for the next one. Dallas at Green Bay. Dallas is 7th versus quarterbacks, 3rd versus running backs, 15th versus receiver, 11th versus tight end. Green Bay 4th versus quarterbacks, 20th versus running backs, 7th versus receiver, and 3rd versus tight end. Guys you like and do not like.
So I'm going to make it quick because I know we're running short on time here. I'm going to go with start Prescott, even start Rodgers, because this seems like a Rodgers day. Seems like he's going to somehow get his head out of his fucking ass. And then I'm going to go with Pollard out of Zeke. Pollard and Zeke, I'm going to go with Pollard. Big play. Opportunities there. This is a run defense that hasn't been that great. Aaron Jones, A.J. Dillon, he is sent to the shadow realm, never to come back. Lazard is a go. I don't want either of the tight ends. And I'm actually going to say no to Lamb this week. I think Bandy got it right. I think this is actually going to be a Michael Gallup week.
CeeDee Lamb.
Get on the Michael Gallup train, as I say. All right, well, we've talked about some games. Let's talk about our home team, some guys off our home teams that we like. We like to call them our homer picks. All right, listen, every week I always say the same thing, so I'm just going to start off by saying it's not going to be Raheem Mostert. I'm picking Tua this week. That's it. I'm doing it. This is the week. It's Tua's week. I'm picking Tua. So that's my homer pick of the week. Justin, who's your homer pick this week?
I half expected you to go from Raheem Mostert or Jeff Wilson. The Miami 49ers. Woo! I'm going to get a Miami 49er flag. Yeah. I'm going to keep it simple. Brandon Ayuk, 3 weeks of 21 points, or not 21 points. He's averaged 21 points in the past 3 weeks. So, Brandon Ayuk, cash it in. That's my dope pick of the week.
There you go. Nick, what say you?
Okay, so my dope pick of the week, he's actually disappointed me the last 2 weeks, but I hope he gets a bounce back week this week. Devonta Smith, last time he played the Redskins, the Commanders, he was number one receiver at 30.9 points. I hope he has a reproduction of that this week. So that's my homer pick of the week.
Chris, I realize I forgot to tell you about this segment. So do you have someone on your home team, though, that you like this week?
I'd really like a win. Can I pray for one of those?
No, that's too easy.
Aaron Jones. I guess he's probably the best guy on the roster. We'll just go with Aaron Jones.
Yeah, I mean, again, they got to get that running game going. We said it all in the offseason. Would Green Bay be a much better team if they just start running the dang football, period. All right, let's get on to the rest of the games. The 4 o'clockers, the Colts at the Raiders. Colts are 11th versus the quarterback, 19th versus running back, 2nd versus receiver, 20th versus tight end. On the Raiders side, 31st versus quarterback, 26th versus running back, 20th versus receiver, and 28th versus the tight end. Chris, what say you? Give me some guys you like and don't like.
Colts and Raiders brought to you by My Pillow, because this is going to be a fucking pillow fight. Josh Jacobs, Devontae Adams, that's all. If you have JT and he's a full go, you obviously start him, because who knows? He might get 50 carries. He's got a fucking retired center for a head coach. I can't with this Jeff Saturday stuff. I'd prefer to stay away from this game and pretend it doesn't exist, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I mean, his whole famous thing with Peyton Manning, that whole little fight was about running the ball more. So, yeah, maybe we'll see a lot of Jonathan Taylor this ball game. Who knows? All right, Nick, let's go to you. Cardinals at the Rams. Cardinals 28th versus quarterbacks, 22nd versus running backs, 17th versus receiver, dead last against tight ends. Rams 8th versus quarterbacks, 7th versus running backs, 21st versus receiver, 4th versus tight end. Actually, Rams tighten up a little bit on D. I know it's a big question mark, of course, if these quarterbacks go. That makes a big difference. But let's do your best. Give me guys you like and don't like.
All right. Well, this is another slow death. So it could be Colt McCoy versus Wofford, and nobody wants to watch that. So you're not going to play Murray anyway because, as Justin alluded to, or he didn't allude to it, he actually said it last week. Murray scores 7 points less per game against the Rams. Last time he played the Rams, he was your 22nd ranked quarterback, scoring 13 points. Nobody wants any part of that. James Conner hasn't seen above 55 yards this season. Justin said it last week. He said it. He only did it twice. Right now, he's had no top 10s, and he's your 42nd ranked running back. I'm sorry. Eno Benjamin, he's just less than bad. And then Hopkins, you're gonna play him no matter which quarterback is on the field. And same with Zach Ertz. He's your number 4 tight end. He's had 4 top 10s against the Chiefs, Panthers, Vikings, and Seahawks. On the Rams side of the ball, Cooper Kupp. That's it. I mean, who else are you going to play? Okay, so their defense has picked up. They're 8th against quarterbacks, 7th against running backs, and 4th against tight ends. So they could be a nice streamer. I don't know what the exact numbered roster they have, but I don't think it's too high. So if you need if you need a defense to stream this way, pick up the Rams.
Yeah, not a bad one. All right, let's go to the next one. Chargers at Niners. Justin, Chargers are 12th versus quarterbacks, 31st versus running backs, 13th versus receiver, 15th versus tight end. 49ers, 9th versus quarterbacks, number 1 against running backs, 19th versus receiver, and 9th versus tight end. What say you guys you like and don't like?
Can I just say this real quick? Sometimes the NFL has to have the foresight to send the right teams over to the 9:30 games because I want no part of. I don't want to wake up for fucking Arizona and the Rams. I would never want to wake up for that. So I would just gladly sleep in on a Sunday for that shit. Or go back to bed because obviously I do wake up TSS. But for this Chargers game, so I don't really like Herbert, but how do you not start him, right? Like, he's a top 5 quarterback as far as drafted, but his weapons, if he doesn't have Allen, he doesn't have Williams, he only scored 13 points last week. Like, he didn't do you shit. So for me, you got to start him, but I don't like it. Eckler, 5 straight top 5 finishes. This dude is on freaking fire. He's going to get slowed down this week, at least as far as a rushing back. He's going against the 49ers, stout up front. He doesn't have the line to handle the interior line and or Nick Bosa, so this is going to be a tough challenge for him. I still think he'll pull out a top 10 finish because he's got that receiving back in him, and the 49ers have not been the best against receiving backs. Palmer, going to get hyper-targeted. PPR points, that's just going to lead to him racking. Even if he gets nothing on the yardage spectrum, if he gets 10 receptions, he's already got you money. That's already money from the flex position, so you put him in there. On the other side, Jimmy Garoppolo's been on a nice stretch, averaging 17 points since week 5, 2 points or 2 touchdowns in each one of those games. Love him or hate him, and you guys know my feelings about him. He's been doing work, and it's been helping. He's got this guy named CMC, who is probably going to be the number 1 running back this week. He's playing the 2nd worst defense against running backs. They have allowed the 3rd most receiving touchdowns to running backs. What is CMC as a receiving back? Debo and Ayuk. I actually like Debo. Or I like Ayuk a lot more than Debo this week. I would sit Debo this week if I had Ayuk because, like I said, Ayuk is averaging 21 points a game in the past 3 games, and Debo has not got that little magic that kept him going this past season that made him a real threat. He's only had 2. He's averaged under 2 carries a game since week 4. It's not good. And then finally, Kittle, start him. He's on a stretch. They have both their tackles back. They're not using him as a blocker. They're running routes with him. He is Jimmy Garoppolo's best freaking friend on that team. He's always going to pepper him with targets, and he's going to make plays. So, yeah, you definitely start George Kittle. And then I think I actually forgot Gerald Everett. Gerald Everett, sneaky little play there. I actually wouldn't mind even flexing him. He's one of those guys that I could see getting 10 to 12 points and being worth the flex. So, yeah, I won't start Herbert if it helps me, and Deebo Samuel.
Okay. Let's go to Nick. Let's finish up the breakdown. Washington at Philly. Washington, they are 20th versus fantasy QBs, 15th versus running backs, 25th versus receivers, 2nd versus tight end. Philly, they are 2nd against fantasy QBs, 16th versus running backs, 10th versus receivers, and 14th versus tight ends. Give me some guys you like and don't like for the Monday Nighter.
Okay, so if you're going to play anybody from Washington, you're going to play Antonio Gibson as a flex. He's number 19 overall, 12.4 points per game. Last game against Philly, he got you 10 points. I mean, not great, not terrible. It's acceptable. And then as far as the other guy goes, you're going to go with McLaurin. McLaurin rather. Right now, last time he played Philly, he got 10 points. So it's Washington. They don't score much. So at this point, you take what you can get. In this Buymageddon we got going on this week, the cupboard is bare. The waiver wire is completely depleted. So you gotta play with what you have, and then hope and pray they fall in the end zone. That's it as far as Washington goes. As far as the other team, if they're wearing green, you start them. That's just pretty much it. Because right now, according to my research, my crack research here, last game against Washington, Hurts, second quarterback of the week, scored 27 points. A.J. Brown, 13th ranked, scored 19.5. I'm going to say it again. Devonta Smith was number one with 30.9 points. And Dallas Goedert got 11.6 points. Again, he was your number 11 tight end that week. So, again, and a sneaky good play this week. Jahan Dotson was a full participant at practice this week. If you have Jahan Dotson, play him. Because he's played 4 games this season, 3 out of the 4 he's had mid-teen numbers as far as points. Play him. Now, he only scored 1 point against Philly the last time, but play him. What do you got to lose at this point?
A lot. Sweet.
A lot.
All right, let's go. Let's finish the show off. We got to talk about our ultimate DFS lineup. I forgot my tank top this week, so I just got to go as Vince McMahon, I guess. All right, so we're gonna go to Chris first as the guest. Tell us about your ultimate DFS lineup. Thank you. You're on mute, just FYI.
This week, we have Justin Fields coming in at quarterback. The kid set a record for QB rushing yards in a single game last week. And he also threw 3 touchdowns. He can throw, but he doesn't need to throw. Fields has scored well over 20 DK points the last 3 weeks, including last week's 45.7-point explosion. The Lions suck defensively. Despite what you saw last week, the Packers just made them look good. They're not actually able to defend a dual-threat quarterback like this. I wouldn't be surprised to see some bubble screens and quick outs to Claypool, getting him going in this game either. Saquon Barkley. It's Saquon off a bye versus the worst run defense in the world. Derrick Henry just put 200 on him. I don't really need to say anything else with that. Nick Chubb, the Dolphins score fast and they want to play high-paced game. They want to play a high-paced game. The Browns have a great way to combat that in Nick Chubb, a guy who can carry the ball 20-plus times. He scored 28 fantasy points versus the Chargers and Bengals. This Miami defense is significantly better than Cincy. Jalen Waddle Denzel Ward is rumored to be back. Could funnel some extra targets to Waddle. Extra for Waddle would be like 10, considering he's seen 7 or more targets in 3 of the 4 last games. Then I got George Pickens. When these rookies get a bye week and a chance to absorb the offense a bit more, they often come out playing even better. We also have Chase Claypool in Chicago now, so there's only one gigantic dude out there looking to catch footballs. And then this is going to be a shocker. Khalil Shakur. Look, you can't stack Saquon, Chubb, and Waddle together without hitting the discount bin on the way out. It's looking like Josh Allen will miss the game, so we're playing the angle of trying to find a guy Case Keenum got some reps with on the second team. Shakir, I don't know how to say his name, is our best shot as far as guys who will see the field, and he's in the slot, so it's easier to throw. And then I got Dan Arnold. Yes, Dan Arnold is still in the league. Even Ingram has been getting limited practice in this week and could sit this game out. If he does, it's not like Trevor Lawrence will stop getting his tight end a ton. Before his injury last year, Arnold had a few decent games. With Lawrence, a decent game, all we need to pay off minimum salary. Darnell Mooney, this game has a real probability of being the highest scoring game of the day. If that's the case, then Mooney will need to be involved, and he's a great stack with Fields. And then I'm just going to pick Arizona defense, the cheapest defense that's still available.
Nice. And I always end up screwing the graphics up. See, I got Darnell Mooney on there twice. Like, God, man, always something. Dang, God. All right, Justin, what's your ultimate DFS lineup?
Oh, yeah. It's time for the ultimate DFS. And I went Justin Fields too. The real thing behind this is that Justin Fields is one of the middle ground guys as far as DK goes right now, which is kind of criminal considering he just had the game of his life and he's going against the absolute worst overall defense out there right now. So I'm looking at this as a smash over on that one. I want all the Justin Fields stock I can get. Also went with Saquon Barkley. Wow, this is starting to look a lot like my lineup too. Jesus Christ. I mean, great minds do think alike, right, Chris? Like Chris said, Saquon Barkley, guess what? Hurricane Henry hit them. Hurricane Barkley is coming right afterwards. And it's just going to be a great game for Saquon to get back on track. Jeff Wilson Jr., my boy, is now in Miami. Enjoy him, Coop. He's a good, solid running back, and he will get you a touchdown, and hopefully he starts poaching away some of those carries from Raheem Mostert. Then I got Stephon Diggs. I'm a firm believer that Stephon Diggs and Case Keenum or Josh Allen, if it's Case Keenum, then it's a revenge game, right? Because they were the last part of that actual playoff team that made it far. So, whether it's Case Keenum, whether it's Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs is going to get his touches, and he's going to get opportunities to score. Love George Pickens this game. George Pickens really underrated since he's got Kenny Pickett. He's been a constant double-digit scorer with Pickett at the helm. This is a softer defense than we've ever seen in New Orleans. As far as I know, Marshawn Lattimore still has not stepped back on the field. So they're just seemingly getting worse. I think they left with a couple more injuries last time they were out. So looking at the Steelers to actually pick up a W this week, and George Pickens is going to be a big part of it. From one current Steeler to a former Steeler, Juju Smith-Schuster, like I said, 3 straight weeks, wide receiver 1 numbers. Take out the guy that's probably been the only guy that's probably had a chance of outproducing him, and Mecole Hardman. And now you have all the opportunity in the world for Juju Smith-Schuster. He's been doing it as a PPR guy. You throw a touchdown or 2 in there, and his numbers could be absolutely through the roof. At $6,000, that's an absolute steal to me. At tight end, I'm going with Cole Kmet. Like I said, 3 touchdowns the past 2 weeks. Justin Fields has had awesome weeks, and he's been taking Cole Kmet along a ride with him. So 10 points is all you need for tight end to be a success on the day. I think he can get it. And then I'm actually going to stick around with that idea. Pat Freiermuth at 4,200 is beautiful because Kenny Pickett, as he's getting on with George Pickens, he's also been utilizing his tight end. Tight end is probably rookie's best friend. It's an easy pass to make. I'm looking at Pat Fryermuth as another guy who could probably get an easy 10 to 12 points. And then finally, going against Jimmy Johnson's second favorite team, the Miami Dolphins, I am going to go with the Cleveland Browns. I think Cleveland.
That's all you could afford. Okay, let's move on. Okay, Nick, let's roll to the lineup.
Okay, I thought the Miami Hurricanes were his second favorite team, but all right, that's fine. So, with a budget of $50,000, I paid a little up this week for Justin Fields, just like everybody else at $6,500. David Montgomery coming in at $6,000. Cordell Patterson at $6,400. Chris Olave $6,800. He's going to be a steal this week in New Orleans against Pittsburgh. Deontay Johnson $5,800. Amari Cooper $6,500. Claypool sneaky play $4,800. Otten $3,500. And the Birds against, well, you have Eagles at Philly. So Washington at Philly. I got the Birds at $3,700.
All right. Thanks for just reading off what's on the screen. That was very awesome of you. All right. Let's go on to my ultimate DFS lineup. All right. So I think one thing is for sure, Saquon Barkley is a definite a buy for all of us this week against Houston. Like you've said a million times, they are dead last against running back, so that's easy. I do like Trevor Lawrence here as a good DFS play because KC 25th against QBs, and also, like I mentioned earlier, they're going to have to throw to at least make this somewhat of a game. So I do like Trevor Lawrence this week. I got Tony Pollard. You were talking about it earlier, Justin, against Green Bay. They're 20th against fantasy running back, so I think he's a good play this week. Christian Kirk, again, that's my stack. Again, they're going to have to throw the ball to keep in this ball game. 26 against fantasy receivers. Darnell Mooney, he's been up on a few of our boards already. 28th against receivers, Detroit is. Josh Palmer, we've talked about him earlier. San Francisco, a little chink in their defensive armor. They are 22nd against receivers, and he is the only one there pretty much at this point. Jeff Wilson Jr., you mentioned to it. I am actually really excited he's here. And again, Browns not very good against the running game. They're 29th against fantasy running backs. Greg Dulcich is my tight end this week. He's been on the uptick, and Tennessee, they are 26th against fantasy tight ends. So it's a decent play there as well. And the Broncos defense. I know they've been going down, but again, I mean, is it Ryan Tannehill? Is it Malik Willis? The world will just never know this week. So depending on who gets to start, I think either way, Broncos D is a good, easy play. All right, well, we're going to close things out. Before we do, Chris, let everyone know where they can follow, subscribe, and get all of your great content, my friend. We do appreciate you being here tonight.
Thanks for having us, Kamish. And Nick, thanks for having me. You're the real MVP, brother.
You're welcome. Thank you. I appreciate it. See, someone likes me, Cooper.
Absolutely. He's our favorite. You can find us over at www.patriotsportsnow.com, on Twitter at PSR Producer, the show's at Patriots Pod, and you can find the genius and brains behind all of this, Mr. Eric, and he is at PSR Host Guy.
Nice. All right.
On YouTube, Patriot Sports Radio. Sorry. I got to start saying that because we just started growing or doing our YouTube channel. So
yeah, your YouTube, you're on TikTok, you're on Instagram, you're on
we're on all Patriot Sports Radio on everything else besides Twitter.
Find them. It's not hard. You can go follow them, find them, go hit subscribe button, do all the good stuff. Don't forget waking up with TSS 8 a.m. Don't forget, again, we'll have Mikey Bets on for your bets of the day. You'll have Jay with your plug of the week. We got our injury list, so make sure you wake up with us. Send your lineup questions. We will answer them on Sunday morning. And again, don't forget to hit the subscribe button because the Fantasy Jester is coming to town. He's got 5 big gifts to give away this week, so hit that subscribe button. We appreciate you guys, and we are out.
We're on a mission. Right. That's because you have We're on a mission. We're on a mission.
what it is.